Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to Bird Speaks Tarot. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. This is a general reading and it is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or counselor, therapist, anything along those lines. Please seek out the right people if you need that. Otherwise, now that that's out of the way, let's see what Bird's got to say today. I did get out the overlying energy. These cards usually take long to flip and take up a lot of my battery time. So I pre-shuffled, and today it looks like we are speaking about the first house. So the first house is basically the way you're perceived by other people, whether that's real or not. We'll probably talk about that later. But it's people's first impressions, general outlook in the world, ego. Also, it's the beginning, and it's very good time for a beginning. This card looks very much like spring, which we are witnessing probably on half the planet. And so first house arrival. We have a buck or heart. H-A-R-T is another way to say the male deer. Loved ones in spirit. When that card comes out, it is letting you know that your loved ones in spirit are with you and supporting you and comforting you here at this time. This whole row here is very colorful. It really does have so many spring tones to it. So it seems like you may be starting something. Whether that be like a new job or a new persona, even. Not a persona, but like a new look, a new hairstyle, a new vibe. We've done a lot of clearing out planetary-wise over the last little bit. So I think all of us are really experiencing a feeling of newness. We've also just hit true spring. What I consider personally the true new year. So we had the January New Year, we had the Chinese New Year, and now we have the spring solstice, which I believe happened on the 21st or 23rd. I think it was the 21st. But we have bluebird spirit and happiness here. This card really just wants to talk about we do make our own happiness or choose our own happiness. So even though things may not be perfect at this time, we want to be looking at the positives. And even if that's just like, it's getting warmer, the flowers are going to come out soon. The little things, waking up and having the ability to have woken up. The fact that we live on a spinning ball or flat plane and whatever you believe in, it's pretty amazing. So we want to look at, we want to choose happiness, right? And remember who you are. So if this last, we'll say 6 months to a year, maybe longer, have been a little dark, it seems like with the cards on the table here today, there's all kinds of light and color. And then I'm also getting a bit of masculine energy as well with this this heart. And maybe you've experienced a loved one crossing over, a masculine figure crossing over, because for some reason when I keep looking at this, I keep looking at the dude, the homie. So I just realized for the first time she's like all ghosty. You can actually see through her, and you can't see through them. But he is actually what caught my attention. Same with the bluebird here. Usually the colorful birds are the distractors from the female, who typically looks a little plain. So for me, honestly, It's making me feel like I need to bring a little color into my life because I might have this lovely purple robe while I do my readings. But I'm very personally, I wear a lot of gray, black, white, not purposely, I guess. Well, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try to wear more colors. That's what I'm trying to say. Bring up my vibe, you know? So the bull here is also a very masculine figure. It normally symbolizes things like fertility, virility. So, you know, a lot of passion towards what they want to do. It also symbolizes Taurus, right? So Taurus rules your second house, and I believe we will be seeing Taurus season shortly. So this feels like we're talking about now into Taurus season. Now, normally when I bust out the next line, because right now it's feeling pretty happy. We got love, support, we got color, we're choosing happiness. The reading might change a little bit because we are here to figure out what we need to be aware of and what would be in our best interest. Now, it may not turn, hopefully it doesn't. I would love to have like a purely positive reading, but you know, we want to figure out what's going on around us and what we need to look out for, right? But so far, so good. Attempted to lure you. Now, this could be attempted to lure you in the woods. Could be attempted to lure you like a hunter, maybe could have attempted to lure you like prey. Or maybe they just tried to attempt to lure you in love. Attempted. Lure isn't usually the word I'd like to use when talking about love, though. So, bird, what's going on? We need loved ones in spirit. If somebody attempted to lure you off into the woods, it's seeming like maybe you had some protection in the spirit realm there, looking out for you. Now I am actually looking at the mother figure, the ghostly see-through mother figure in this picture here. So you could have a mom that's crossed over, or a mother figure that's crossed over into spirit that helped you possibly protect from a male figure. Sorry if you hear rattling. Apparently somebody in one of my neighbors is snow blowing the snow we just got, and is rattling my stuff on the wall, my mirror and stuff. So I apologize if you can hear that. So a mother figure possibly protecting you from this, from being hunted. And I say that just because of this guy here, right? He would be a good catch, wouldn't he? I assume. I don't hunt. I assume you would like that. Back in the day. Attempted to lure you back in the day. Bottom of the deck, demon face syndrome. I think there's an E at the bottom of that. And deathbed confessions in the reverse. So possibly confess prior to that specific day where they may have passed away, or they didn't. Maybe they wanted to confess before they passed away and did not, because that was in reverse. attempted to lure you back in the day. Buck or heart? Bluebird spirit happiness, please burn. You know, we have in this, we actually have another. Honestly, it kind of looks like a unicorn, but I'm not sure. It could just be a stick, but otherwise it would be another deer, right? So we have a lot of like cow type. Very masculine energy. Maybe trying to lure very feminine. Because I'm getting like a lot of pinks as well. I mean, it could be the other way around. It could be a woman luring a dude into the woods to be hunted. It could. I've never tried to hunt anybody. However, I have been lured or attempted to have been lured. But I'm too smart, you know what I'm saying? I'm too smart for that. And I'm highly protected. F around and find out. Right? So that certainly could be that. Now, too many cards fell out with that, so I'm not going to put it on the board. But we also have cult. I don't want to read that. And here we have first house on the other side. So again, we're talking about the first house. Appearance, approach, how you show up to the world. Maybe because of how you show up to the world, somebody wanted to... Maybe somebody didn't like that about you. Somebody doesn't like your natural happiness. Somebody doesn't like the ease of which you live. Somebody doesn't like your beliefs. Somebody doesn't like, maybe you live in a place where there's a lot of old-timey beliefs and your new-timey self maybe goes, needless to say, unappreciated. You know, there are people out there thinking that you're gonna burn in a lake of fire because you're watching this channel right now. Could be something along those lines. Bert, there's too many. Community. So there could be a community of people who hold these beliefs. Maybe you live in what you call like a church belt. This could be a place where, you know, you've got to be a part of one of the many churches. And I do want to point out at the bottom of the deck we have... Am I allowed to say this? I don't know, but that's what is at the bottom of the deck. And one of a kind is at the split of another. So, you know, if you're a one of a kind, and these people are this hiding behind a church front, so to speak, because they do, that's exactly where they hold all of their ceremonies and rituals. You think that, like, do you see any churches of that guy hanging around? No, not in the open. That's because they just use the ones that are already standing, because really that's what they are. Like, Catholicism is basically sun worship. Islam's basically moon worship. But they like to cloak it because there's a lot of control involved. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of rituals to be done in secret that they don't want to be known, right? So, and it's really hard for people. I think, you know, the pandemic kind of helped wake people up where things aren't what they seem. PDFs. So that came out. Maybe you're in a community where that has a stronghold on people. I know particularly where I live, as open as the rest of the world is, where I happen to live, people still lie about their sexuality. And they do that because it's not easy to live the way they'd like to live here. There's a lot of bearded marriages. It's behind the times, I guess you would say, Magic trick fell out. At the bottom of the deck here, we have Hypnotist, Alien Origins. So, careful of anybody that asks you to be, hey, do you want to do a magic trick? Do you want to see a magic trick? Follow this pendulum for me. And then, haha, okay, I'll follow the pendulum. I don't think you can actually hypnotize people. Next thing you know, anytime someone calls your name, you're clucking like a chicken. Or maybe you're agoraphobic now all of a sudden. Yeah, we don't know. Don't let people do that to you. Take my word for that. Especially a Taurus. Especially a Taurus. I am going to bust out some Lenormand here before I get into the tarot. Attempted to lure you. Arrival. Do you actually want the tarot? Attempted to lure you. I really honestly gotta have to grab a different deck because I don't think I'm in the right area here. Alright. Bird, tell me about attempted to lure you. First house means I feel like somebody tried to use their looks. Somebody tried to give you an impression of who they were. But really that's not who they were. They weren't this handsome maybe they were the handsome. Maybe that part they weren't faking, but the other things they were faking because this guy's really trying to, put his best hoof forward, so to speak, and it seems like he's decorated himself somehow with things to give the illusion of what he wanted to portray. He really pulled all the stops. when attempting to get you into maybe this could just be a first date with first house or arrival. Maybe it was more than first date. Maybe they were trying to lure you into something more serious. Tell me, Bird, what's attempted to lure you? What did they want to lure you into? Ugh, buddy. Bondage? Addiction? They wanted the devil card is out. They could attempted to lure you into a bad lifestyle, a bad, if they attempted to lure you off into those woods, maybe they wanted to have you bound in some sort of way, whether it be through, I gotta tell you, I know somebody who went missing here, and when they were lured to a cabin in the woods with several different men, and that they were the treat for the weekend. And then they were left out in the middle of nowhere to assume not survive the backcountry, which they did. Back in the day. You know, I'm glad that card says attempted to lure you, because that means your spirit guides really did have your back. Who had your back that day? Who had your back that day? Loved ones in spirit. Family on the other side. If this was you, you know that they were looking over you. You know that they got you out of that situation. You know, with this community card, it feels like there's a whole community full of devils where you live. Tell me about this community. Now it's under happiness. What is the community happy about? Can you find happiness in this community? Tell me about this community. Looks like with the 7 of Cups or the 7 baskets, there's a lot of illusions. Possibly people in your community being happy could be an illusion. This could also be illusion about who you are, tying that in with the first house. Maybe you're somebody who is in like this particular hoodoo deck. This woman she's in a bath relaxing with, you know, all her, like her salts and her lavender, you know, and it's just like the most relaxing type of day. She's a normal, relaxing type of person, but there's an illusion in the community that says possibly different, but it seems like the truth may be coming out. It does look like there was some sort of confusion around who you were or what you were about. Within the community. also, like, it could be like, this community sees that you are happy and relaxed and content and is a lovely creative person with who had lots of options, and that's the truth about you. But then we have this group here who were getting together and planning something, possibly a group that is disguised in the church. Possibly a Capricorn having something to do with it. It feels like there's a team of people who had worked together to create an illusion about you, but the truth is coming out with that Eight of Swords, Ace of Knives there. Tell me about Remember Who You Are and pedophiles. PDF files. I mean, jeez, that's not going to make it, is it? Online. So the world came out. Along with the Six of Swords. It looks like somebody got away, because we did use the word attempted, which means it didn't work. Attempted to lure you. You remembered who you were. Even if they got you a little bit, they didn't get what they want. So if someone say, because the world to me can obviously means endings, but it can also mean online. And that's the first thing that popped into my head under PDFs. And trying to get away to calmer waters. I can see them running or trying to get away, because you're not backing down from this. You're not somebody that just goes away and shuts up. You're somebody who takes it to the world and tells everybody what happened and who to watch out for and what's actually going on, because these people do hide in places like churches, and they come off holier than thou, and yet they're off at night trying to lure young pretty ladies. I mean, maybe even not just young pretty ladies, but our innocent youth. And as we know, it's not always ladies. Like, you need to make sure that you're protecting your children, right? From these types of people online who are most likely in your community. It always seems like a problem that's somewhere else, but it's right there at home. Right next door. Sometimes right inside. Magic trick. Tell me about this magic trick. This magic trick by some sort of male who seems quite angry in this. Very possibly a Taurus. Oh, you know what? God, why did I have to pick this up? Moloch. The one they like to give children to. Seems these cranes got away Probably using hidden knowledge, because that is one of the things they represent is hidden knowledge, the crane. Different cultures, different things. But this possibly Moloch worshipper, maybe not a Taurus, but a Moloch worshipper. We have the devil again. And in this particular story, it seems like in the book, Miss Robinson, who is a pretty happy person who goes to church, wants to be part of the community, but the community shuns her. Particularly, I think it's Miss Patrick. It tells her that root workers shouldn't be, like your kind, should not be in the church. And she didn't like that, so she poisoned her, shortly after, her Miss Patrick's son gets sick and dies from a small cold. Not something things usually pass away from. And while everybody's at the church, at the funeral, Miss Robinson stands across the street holding the pamphlet, looking quite proud of herself. And so Dr. Grant came out here, who happens to be the hermit, collecting. You basically find the hermit, he's in the woods all the time collecting ingredients for medicine and spell work. So it seems like this masculine tried to use a magic trick, possibly hypnosis. We did see that earlier, to take somebody out by using root work. And what I'm noticing here is this bull looks pretty angry that they got away. Unfortunately, their sacrifice to Moloch didn't work out. So it's looking like you got away by a hair on your chinny chin chin. To me, it looks like they actually ended up getting you out there. They got you out there. Some divine intervention came to be from your loved ones in spirit. The community, it looks like they tried to create illusions around you. Like, I don't know, maybe if you went missing, they would have been like, oh, yeah, that person had a lot of problems, or like it just seems like with the Seven of Cups or the Seven of Basket, there was a lot of misinformation about you and who you were. They could have said things like maybe you're on drugs, or you're, had some sort of addictions, or you were, what's the word? I don't want to say flighty, but you got around, okay? You had a lot of problems. There was a lot of illusions here. But the truth came out about this group and what this group was trying to do. This group of PDF files who work together online, who are now trying to escape. Are these guys going to get away with what? Are these guys going to be able to Six of Swords? I know that you were able to get away from this. The cycle has closed out. Okay, so if they had any type of timelines, like say they had to do this before a certain date, that's over with. That cycle is closed. You are free to go. Are they going to be trying this again? Do we have to, does the collective have to worry about this? What's the advice for the collective at this point? I mean, besides, watch your back, obviously. So we have the Page of Cups. So use your intuition. Something you're not expecting is going to make you very happy. Something, it looks to me like somebody really did find out who these people are. Or who you are. Because the Son of Sticks here, he is a very talented root worker himself. If you haven't dibble-dabbled in any of the arts, maybe you should take a look at it. And if you're watching this channel, it seems like you probably are, and you probably will. But he is surrounded here by snakes and his little chameleon there. He's got his 6 fingers, and he is a very powerful root worker himself. He is highly connected to the Most High, and I would say off limits to anybody who's trying to lure you anywhere to be sacrificed to anybody. It would be in that person's best interest. They're going to be in for a shock that this is who you are. Not to play with you. Because, I mean, you got loved ones and spirits that can come down here at any time and stop whatever plan they have. And they're probably very lucky that you don't use the same tactics on them because, well, I guess different people have different intentions. Not everybody who has certain talents are out to get people or win at all costs. Some people, some powerful root workers want to heal the world. So, I hope that's you. I know that's me. So if that's you, we could be friends. I would like you to be my friend. And I've had a really good 40 minutes with you guys. Be careful out there. It does look like the cycle is over, but always keep your wits about you. Be aware. Be good. I love you. Bye.